Welcome to Currently in Progress. Our first guest ever is Brandon Calhoun, a musician, a hometown friend, a free spirit. Let's get into it.
Being hungover, and I know. Well,
And you know that weed is definitely way easier.
Can we sit? Do we sit or can we?
We can do whatever we want.
I like your style, man. This is.
We can. This is the whole. That's the whole point.
You want your notebook?
Oh yes. But yeah, this is the whole.
This is how I always roll.
Exactly.
What the fuck? I gotta have my sip of coffee. I gotta have my spit. What the fuck?
That's all you gotta do. No, but yeah. So like when I start, once I moved to Mount Pleasant,
yeah.
Obviously college, you just get a couple buddies that smoke, you know.
Well,
and then
first of all, when I first met you in high school, watching you play basketball and seeing you now is a fucking trip.
Oh, it's definitely, people don't recognize me at all anymore.
No.
And the mask thing obviously helped that, but there was people that come into Dunham's from high school. They would look at me and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Austin?" And he'd look at me, he's like, "I guess I don't know you." And I'm like, and I kind of pulled my mask down. He's like, "Holy shit."
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Dude." And then literally like 10 minutes later, see him again. He's staring at me. He's like, "Your arms are bigger than mine." Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, I try." Like, I didn't want to be the small guy anymore. So.
And you lift at the SAC?
I actually lift at Evolution.
That's right, because you're at Mount Pleasant.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Mount Pleasant, I mean, community college.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so that was, and I actually, speaking of college too, I worked with Central football last fall. So that was a like big eye opener, and seeing like how that worked and at college athletes and everything, that was wild. But that was another little
motivated you to get fit
a little bit more. Yeah.
Nice,
well, like
dude.
it was just the next level. Like I was already lifting. I was already lifting then, but I was like, dang, like these guys aren't like, there's some that are all that. Like there's some dudes that are like, "You're a freaking freak. You're genetically like, you're unbelievable." And then there's some dudes there that are just like, "You're Division I athlete? Like how?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's just weird, but
are you into, so are you eating?
Oh yeah.
Like, so you're not, what do you do, like cutting out the carbs and eating out, I mean
I would say I just don't eat fast food.
Yeah.
I'll eat carbs. I eat bread. I eat pasta, everything. But like pop, I completely cut out pop. Yeah. I used to be a Mountain Dew 2 or 3 a day kind of person, easily.
Wow.
And so no pop. I drink a hell of a lot more water, and eat just good shit. Yeah. And I feel so much better.
I just started on that health subject about 3 weeks ago. I met a friend of mine, and I was, not being a musician and not having gigs and all that stuff, I've become pretty fucking lazy. And it's been bad. And so he got me on the keto. Is it keto? Keto. And I started it. I've dropped 15 in the last 3 weeks.
Dang.
And I'm going for it, bro. And I'm going to be looking like you. Well, not, I don't have the youth yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah. You like keto? Because it's no, what is it? It's no carbs.
No carb and no sugar, no sweet, chocolates and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
I used to put like so much
sugar and
BS in my coffee and black. And so as soon as you get your taste buds to not crave sweets and not to crave, and it takes a minute, but as soon as you get over that, you're smooth sailing, baby.
Yeah.
And it becomes now you become addicted to that versus all the bullshit. It's amazing.
It's It's the same thing too when it came to lifting. My back, I shit you not, and it was just me being a kid. My back hurt all the time. Like people, like all adults say that too. But I got this like little injury where like apparently my cartilage was like 25% gone on my last vertebrae.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, and like I'm freaking 19. I'm like, what is, like, my back always hurts. Like, this is stupid. So then I started lifting, and I actually did more back shit. And now I literally have to lift every day, or else my back starts to feel a little sore. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, I will not let my back get to that point again. So then you just feel like shit. So it's like, why would I can go put half an hour of work in every day and be like, and completely get rid of that.
Yeah.
So easy.
I'll tell you, it becomes an addiction.
Oh, yeah.
When you become addicted to that stuff,
the good stuff,
then, your life becomes better.
It's over.
It does. Speaking of an addiction and like overcoming and being addicted to the good, healthy way of living, once I started doing the keto, I realized I needed to stop drinking. Because when I would sit down and say, write a song, what comes hand in hand with that? A beer, a booze. Well, I'm not the type of person that wants to have one.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't. I mean, it's an addiction. So I started doing weed now that it's legal in Michigan.
Yeah.
So I'll take a puff or a gummy or whatever it is. It keeps me from grabbing that beer.
Yep. And it still has that little bit of...
And I don't get stoned. I don't want to get bombed.
Yep.
I don't want to be like stumbling around the house. But I get enough. Keeps me from the booze. Keeps those calories off.
Yep.
Keeps my diet right.
Yep.
That's the only reason why I dropped that weight.
And it keeps you focused. There's that fine line. Like once people learn how to control weed, then you figure out like, oh, like if I do just this much, I'm good.
I sleep better.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at my age, 47 years old. At my age, when you drink now, for example, this is a perfect example. I haven't had a drink in about 2 weeks, right? I had a date 2 nights ago. On the date, it was kind of one of those, a setup blind date.
Yep.
I didn't really know the girl. Seen a picture of her. Went out on a date, and it was fun. She had a drink. Wasn't gonna let her drink alone. So here I go.
Yeah.
Boom, 4 or 5 drinks. I was still hungover today.
From that.
Pretty much. That's how much it affects me now.
Yeah.
Where for that 2 weeks, I've been taking a gummy or just a puff of and just relaxing at night. No hangover, feeling unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So I am huge on the pot train right now.
Yes. And the one of the main that's like the hangoverness is horrible.
Horrible.
It's horrible. So that's one of the things that like I pretty much only drink to get away with it now. Like if I go out with people, I'm like, I'm not going to be the only one without a beer in my hand.
Oh sure.
But I'll have like 3 or 4, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like we'll go home. I'll drive home. We'll be fine. Like it's good. And wake up the next day. I'll get up at 9 a.m. I'll go lift. Feel fine. And I'm like, this is 20 times better than having 30 beers. Not that I've ever been able to drink 30 beers, but like 15, 20 beers, and then just be like, wake up the next day. No, I'm done until like 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Exactly. And guess what? When you do that, the next morning you're so fucking hungover that you sleep in late. Then what do you crave? Pizza.
Shit. Yeah.
You gotta feed that fucking just to make yourself feel better.
Yep.
And so
And then that's when the cravings, like you're super susceptible to the cravings at that point, because you're like, I just did that last night. What the fuck does it matter if I have a pizza?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Your inhibitions go right out the window.
Yeah.
Who cares?
No.
Fuck it. And now everything's fuck it.
Yeah.
And you might even like had something scheduled that day, and you come up with an excuse to not go.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's just like you don't want to put yourself in that position in the first place. So
it's terrible, man.
And you like now once you realize, like that's gonna be your future. Like that's gonna be the next day. It's like, nah, I'm good. Like it's easy. It's really easy to make that decision at that point.
It is, and I know being in Nashville for all those years, I know a ton of because alcohol runs rampant in Nashville and with the music scene in general, obviously, and I know a ton of people that just stopped drinking, and I mean, they still go on Facebook and be like, I'm sober. You're like, you're not sober. You do pot every day.
Yeah.
But technically, to me, now that I've realized what they have done to stop drinking, and how much better they feel and how much more successful they are and how they can manage their life, and it's because of weed.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't be able to do it just cold turkey. They would have probably quit for a month or 2, and they would be back on it.
And it'd probably be even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because then when you go out, when you go out with or go without like that, it's over at that point.
Oh man, it's awesome.
Because then it comes back twice as worse.
It does. We've all been down that road. Yeah. My God. And
then that's kind of like the reoccurring thing too. You like when it comes to those like trying to form those good habits. Like I've been reading a lot more, and there's like I went like 15 days every single day I read, and then I went like 3 or 4 days without reading. I was like, okay, well, we're gonna reassess this situation, and we're gonna come back to this, and we're gonna make sure we keep this going again.
Because your brain goes
like,
to mush.
fast. Something happened that weekend. We drank or something. Like just had a more fun, I guess, weekend, and then just like, well, And then I don't want to do it Monday, and then I don't want to do it Tuesday. It's just like, well, now we got to do it. We got to make sure that's a priority.
Yeah, it's like trading in Netflix for reading.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because when
really
you're
is.
drunk and hungover, it's
Netflix.
easier to just watch a movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want
That's
to think. Yeah.
You want to sit back and have the stuff just come to you.
Absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long you been doing the
Record. This is the first one.
This is the first one?
This is the first like actual one I'm using that like.
Oh,
so
sweet.
me and my buddy, I don't know if his name's Ian Hazenfratz. He came out.
Is
He's
he the
like,
one that lives with you?
No, that's Keegan.
Okay.
Ian was one of my high school buddies. He moved out to Oregon, and then he comes back occasionally. And whenever he comes home, it's literally like a month or so for. And I just hang out with him the entire time because we're just best friends. But we were just had a couple days. We were going out, hanging out with people, coming to Mount Pleasant. This is back when I lived in Beaverton. We'd come to Mount Pleasant, hang out with some girls, whatever, come back home. And one time I was like, you know what? I want to start doing this podcast and stuff, so I'm going to record him. And like, you know, that's kind of illegal, but he's cool with it, so it's fine. But I put my phone down and I just started recording him, and we were just talking. We were, you know, he's sitting there and we're just looking out like the windows and shit and just talking. And I shit you not, the first time it was a little rough just because you could tell I was just coaxing him on.
Yeah.
And that's all it was, just getting him to talk and stuff. And it was funny because, you know, it's just
You
funny.
mean he didn't know
He had no idea.
Recorded.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So he's sitting there just rambling and, you know, saying all this funny shit. And then next time I told him, and then we did it like back and forth, and it like I got 3 of them, and I was like, this is fun and this is like hilarious. Like we were talking about like just the weirdest stuff. Like we were driving my dad's truck, and it had automatic high beams. And apparently the simplest thing just like blew our minds, because I was like, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, Ian, are the lights getting brighter and darker on their own? And I'm sitting here, I have no idea. And then all of a sudden, like, we pass a car, boom, high beams come on. And I'm sitting, and then he's like, oh my God, did you do that? I'm like, I didn't move. And like just all this other stuff. And oh yeah, we're sitting there just like,
it's like a Cheech and Chong moment.
Yeah. And then he's like, I think it's just the truck. And I'm like, it kind of has to be, because
that should have been filmed right there.
Oh yeah, I mean, it wasn't filmed, but it was recorded, and it was, and we were like, after a while, once we figured it out, we were starting going crazy about it. We're like, oh my God, this is so like.
That's funny.
Just
man.
the most simple thing, just, you know, makes you laugh. It was so funny.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was going to ask you. You said you might have some plans after college.
Yeah.
What you going to do, man?
So, I should get this up. Me and my dad split on a van.
Okay.
Pretty much a dial-a-ride.
A dial-a-ride van? Where you like
live out of it.
Oh, shit.
So...
Well, you just mentioned your boy was in Oregon, so I know you're going there.
Exactly. So the trip that I want to take with him is what we would do is we would go out all the way out to California, down or up, however we ended up going first, and coming back. And we would stay at all the national parks, and we would hit up, we're both gym freaks, so we would hit up gyms, and it would be more of like a, kind of like an interview process for me, trying to like see if I can get a job somewhere, you know, after college. So then if I'm in Utah and I meet a cool gym and I start talking, maybe podcast with one of their owners or trainers or something, and then they'll be like, well, you're really cool. When you're done with this trip, give us a call. If we need someone, boom, come back. Like that was kind of how I sold it to my dad, obviously, to make it a little bit more, you know, because obviously he's just.
But you got a bud that's going to do this with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah. I got another buddy that's going to go with me. So, and like when we get this van all like set up, it's pretty much a house, but.
Oh yeah.
It's got the awning out front. It's got.
Oh yeah.
It's got the whole shebang, and like that's the inside.
Oh, it's pimped out. It's all wood, and it's it looks like an old 19. It looks like you're in the bottom of a boat.
Yes.
In the bow.
Oh
right?
Oh yeah.
At the bow.
With all the paneling.
Yeah. That looks great, man. That's really nice.
We're gonna mess with that a little bit. We're gonna put another bed in, like a fold out bed on the inside. We're gonna put a little kitchen in there, and then it's got like out the back, it has a drop out bed, queen size bed. So then we'll have a bed out back and bed in front. So both of us will have a bed if we need it, and we can obviously just sleep outside, whatever. But Yeah, shower, bathroom,
Holy moly.
generator, so like I can work on my computer all I want because I got my Wi-Fi right off my phone,
And you can...
and I can do whatever I need to do.
And if you want to just chill for a week somewhere, say
Exactly.
you get to Colorado,
Yep.
and you want to... So there's parks everywhere.
Everywhere.
You just find them, plug in, what is it, $20 a night or something?
Exactly.
25 Now you got your power.
Yep.
You regenerate, you reboot, you
Yep.
set, you hit reset, and then you go somewhere
Go
else.
Exactly.
It's a great way to live.
And then we got there's also gonna be a little mini fridge in there too, so we'll be set up like.
You have to be careful of the weed, man. You'll be like, oh man, it's legal in Michigan. Oh
Yeah.
shit, we're in Ohio.
Exactly. No, yeah, that's one thing we'll have to figure out, but
Yeah.
I'm not too worried. Just hide it a little bit more.
That's exciting. Last time I was in Nashville, I was staying at a buddy of mine's place right on the Cumberland River there, and his good friends from high school are retired, so they're in their 60s right now. But that's what they do. They're doing
just
exactly
travel.
what they're. Yep, they live in this Winnebago, big, very similar to that one.
Yep.
Theirs is a little more older people friendly.
Yeah.
Okay? They
Yep.
got their dog that lives in it with
Yep.
them, but that's all they do. They were staying at Lee's, plugged into his power, and they
Do whatever they need to do.
they came in the house once on a blue moon, but they showered in it, everything.
Yeah.
And it's free living, brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's I mean, when it comes to it, I really just want to travel at the like I want to travel now. Like I don't want to be one of those people like, oh, I want to wait until I retire now. Like I want to be going out and about now.
Most people that say that get retired and they
still
don't do it.
Exactly.
Because they have kids
And they have
they
other-
want to be around their grandkids now, and they're not going to do it.
Exactly.
Until those kids get older. So now you're looking at your 60s, 70s, or
And
whatever.
Even then, you don't want to do it then.
And I was the same way, man.
Yeah.
But it took me a minute. I went through my little thing about what I was going to do, and then finally when I decided I was going to move to California with a buddy of mine, that was it. And then we're talking about addiction here.
Yeah.
Once I got addicted to that travel,
It was over.
standard living of just getting my house and thinking about a kid and growing up, right?
Yep.
I never did.
Yeah.
Still never did.
Yeah.
Here I am. I'm twice your age, and I feel like we're seeing eye to eye.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. No, it's definitely something that you feel like. I just feel like if I don't do it now, you're not gonna do it. And like you said,
Nah.
But I just want to get it. I'm not saying I want to get it over with, but I want to experience that now while I can, and then I can always come back to Beaverton. You know what I'm saying? I can always if I really need something, whatever I need. Come back to Beaverton. I can work. I can find a job here, easy.
Yep.
Live with my dad, whatever I need to.
Sure.
Worst comes to worst, and that's not even bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Take a gamble, and
Yep.
the way things are today,
you never
what's
know.
normal? What's I don't know. I've always kind of battled that. Well, I guess being my age, like you didn't have kids, you're not married. It's a little bit of you're a little bit of a freak show in most people's eyes.
Because you're just not what everyone else expects.
And therefore you have to answer a lot of questions to a lot of people, and that's why people live in Nashville, and that's why people live in the Detroits, and because there's people just like you that live every day for that day.
Yep.
And I've never seen any problem with that, but people do.
Yeah.
People have problems with that.
Yeah.
And so I say let the freakness fly, man.
Just go. Yeah.
At this point in my life, who gives a...
Yeah,
I mean,
who cares?
you got
Who
your whole
cares?
world in front of you. Me,
Yep.
at this point, if I spend my days going, man, I didn't do what everybody else did, and I don't have the house, and I don't have this, and I don't have a 401k, and all that stuff.
Well, you have a lot more experience.
Oh man, I've lived a lot of shit. Man.
Exactly, and I think that
Good, bad, whatever.
what's more valuable? It's just your decision in that situation. It's not even,
Exactly, and of course, there's a lot of mistakes made along the way,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of regret. There's a lot of regret I have, but it's all
You
about
learned.
the experience, man. I'm the type of guy, probably very similar to you. If you said to me, Brandon, you're in Mount Pleasant, oh, you haven't been here in a while. That restaurant right over there, don't go there. It's terrible. go to this place. I would probably go to that place anyway.
Yep.
I'm the type of person that has to experience it. I don't want to read it in the book. I want to taste it myself.
Yep.
And so it's just how I live.
Mm-hmm. You just want to do your own mojo.
Free spirit, brother. Yeah.
And that's what, like, I don't know, more so in, like, you see it a lot on just social media and, like, everything I see, I just think it's more my demographic, like, younger, up and coming. But, like, people always, like, judge, like, they always talk about don't, like, let other people judge what you want to do. Yeah. They always talk about that, but no one ever, like, lives it. No one ever in life, everyone just sits there and stays.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to make fun of me, like, if you're going to make fun of me for this, I'm going to go, like, you know, just hide in my corner and just be like...
It's just, easy to do.
Yeah.
Easy to do.
It's just weird.
It is, and it's like, let's just take music for an example, right? I got this song, it's called Call Me Crazy. A little bit of a story about my life, but in a very, very compact way.
Yeah.
Just kind of gets it out there, little things that I say about it. And it's called Call Me Crazy. Well, just what we're talking about. Exactly. Go ahead, call me crazy. I'm going to keep on trucking anyways.
Yep.
I'm going to keep on moving, keep on going. And I've taken this song and probably recorded it at least 10 different ways.
Yep.
And when I say 10 different ways, I mean 10 different keys. Because if I play it with a capo on and I play it up here and it gets high, it's a pop song. And you can listen to it and be like bebopping around with it, right?
Yeah.
But you can also go Americana with it, bring it down, and give it more of a gravel. Yeah. And I'll play it for some people, and they'll go, "Oh, I like the pop version. I like this," and I get all confused. But what feels good to me? And I literally can't answer that question because I like them both. But I know for a fact if I went in and recorded that song, I know whatever I do, I'm going to wish I would have done it the other way.
Yep.
And it's like, so there is no right and wrong sometimes. You just have to do what's in your heart at that moment and then go to the next one. Go to the next one and go to the next one.
Because you're never going to know unless you record all of them. And you put them all out there, and you're never gonna it's just not something you do.
It's maddening, and you can overthink and over quarantining and all this stuff. And when there's no music, I can easily sit and stew over this shit, right? So it's like a
paralysis over analysis.
Oh
yeah.
Man.
You just
call me crazy. It's about right about now. That stuff.
You think about it too much, and you're like, "Is this right? Is this right?" And it's like, dude,
who are you trying to please? Man?
It's just yourself.
Gotta please yourself, and if you don't, and that's part of the reason with Nashville for me. I loved it down there.
Yep.
But the one thing that I don't see eye to eye with Nashville is, and I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great music that'll never be heard in Nashville. People go to Nashville and they think it's just country and here's Broadway and oh my God, let's go to, these, Kid Rocks or this place or that place. And it's all the same musicians doing songs for the tourists.
Yep.
But man, the little pockets in the little side, East Nashville, where all the, to me, artists.
Yep.
There's a difference between art music and music that Americana that's real and the flash, the superstardom, the Luke Combs and the Luke Bryants and stuff like that. Yep. That's a tough scene. And if you're any sort of artist and you want to kind of keep your music a little bit more on, you could lose your mind out there a little bit. Right?
Oh yeah. You always hear about that when it comes to like famous people, like just. There's obviously more pressures to it to keep that standard.
It's such a machine.
Yeah. They just keep pumping out the same stuff.
I keep thinking to myself, think about it this way. Every genre that you've ever heard of has had a start and then it finishes.
Yeah.
Grunge. Boom. Dead.
Yeah.
Gone. Hair metal. Up in the 80s. Gone.
Yep.
This, that, and the other thing. Country pop music will never go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's impossible because this country is filled. I mean, Iowa, Nebraska. I mean, what do you think farm kids are listening to and their parents are listening to?
Exactly.
And it's very easy for a kid to learn GCD, be pretty, sing pretty good, keep the same formula. Because if you listen to any pop song, it's all the same formula. it allows that person to go, I can be famous too.
Yep.
And so the art of music and creativity
isn't really an art, it's just a copycat.
It's just let's just and so it boggles me to think that this music will never go anywhere. It started probably with like, I don't know, but this machine, now it's turned into R&B slash, and I don't have problems with it. I'm not bagging on it. No, I'm just saying, wow, this machine is pretty incredible, because you and I could sit here and listen to pop radio and hear the exact same song by different artists.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same melody. You know what's coming. You know where the verses are going. You know where it's going, and it's weird how
the pattern. The pattern. It's so easy. Oh yeah.
Interesting to me that that's still happening.
And then there's some songs that the pattern is the same chorus, consistent over and over. And I'm like, I get you figured out 2-3 lines that are catchy as shit.
You're catchy.
And then you just run it, and I'm like, I don't it works.
It works.
I don't understand how it works, but it does.
It's mesmerizing. It's like, I look at it as a nursery rhyme for a kid. You take a kid, right, a little kid, and you play something really catchy, and that kid is going to sing that song, and it's going to be stuck in your brain. So what it is, it's a jingle that gets stuck in your brain, and you cannot stop singing it. And that's what it is, And then you got, your freaks like Chris Stapleton, who's nobody can touch. I mean, his voice is that good, where he can just go do whatever he's doing and stand there on a stage, and a million people are going to watch him. He doesn't even need to have explosions or backup singers or anything. He just stands there and does his thing. That's 1 in a billion guy. Everybody else needs the factory. That's interesting to me.
It is wild.
Yeah, music's. So do you play? You play, don't you?
I've been. I would like to get into it. I would like to, I would need lessons, or I would need something, because there is no way I could sit down and teach myself that. I've tried, and it just doesn't register.
Learn a few chords. That's all you got to do. Learn a few chords. You'll want one. You're going to want a guitar on your journey. And then Winnebago, just when you guys are like, all right, let's rework that C chord. And C, G, C, G. Shit, man, like I just said, all you got to learn is a few chords, and you got to go back and forth, and you can be a superstar. I'm just kidding. It takes talent. It's a business, and I always say this to people. Music is, I love music, but I hate the music business.
I hate the business part of everything.
Me too.
It's just, that's the part that just kills you. It kills your whole vibe to it. It can kill a lot of things. Like when it came to working for Central and that strength conditioning department, just what I saw people have to do, who they had to report to and all this other stuff, and just how cutthroat it is. It's just I get it. It this part is great, but the other 12 hours of the day, that kind of sucks.
It's a rude awakening, the business side of things. It really is. And in music, it sucks the creativity out of you. You know how many times I've been in a studio where, say for example, I'm in a studio and I base my music on, I got a gravelly voice and I'm not a great singer. I've never been a great singer. I'm a shouter, I'm a rocker, but if you say, Brandon, you're in the studio, hit that third and harmonize with yourself. No, you're not a nun singing. I want to be able to understand your words. And you take it's kind of like saying Bob Dylan, not a great singer, right? But I love his voice. Right? So he's not a singer, he's a voice that I want to hear. If you take that thing that he does away,
then what is he?
Willie Nelson. Love Willie Nelson's voice. That weird timing that he has, and he kind of, hey Willie, make sure. I mean, can you imagine Willie Nelson singing the national anthem? It doesn't quite work, right? That's for singers. So you got to know who you are as an artist. And me, I'm not a singer. I try to be an artist as a musician, and that's why Nashville kind of. And so what I mean is, I'm kind of rambling here, but being your own person is really important to me, and I will take that over some mass success. Any day,
whatever that is,
because it's,
That's another, like, it's just a big question that you, like, see people trying to answer all the time is, like, what is success? It's just, like, who are you asking?
Yeah. Everybody's got a different interpretation.
Exactly.
Just like that song I said, I could sing it in 5 different, many different ways. Mm-hmm. But how do you
want to see it?
Want that to be portrayed to people?
Yeah.
And I know, but I'll fuck with myself.
Yep. Yep. Let me check this, just because sometimes they like to
shut off.
What we got?
Is this kind of going down the direction you dig?
This is perfect.
Do you mind if I pee one more time?
No, you're good.
Jesus. I'll tell you. Old man, this is what you get to look forward to, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm delaying the inevitable.
Take a leak every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know how long it's been since I've been in this town? Well, you know, when we get done with this today, I'm literally gonna take a cruise by my old place.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Brownie and I were roommates. Woody was our roommate for a hot minute.
Where'd you guys live?
We lived Castle Loma Apartments. You know where that's at? Edgewood. Pretty much over by the Sac.
Okay.
But keep going. I don't know. I forget what is this. Is this town north and south? North and south of 27. Yep. North and south. So, I guess you would go west. Yeah, it's over there.
Yeah.
But
by like Deerfield.
I don't remember.
Okay. So, like, if you're going to the football field,
yeah,
would you keep going past the football field?
Yep.
Yeah. And then it's going to be like kind of on the right.
On the right-hand side.
Before you take that curve.
You know where the cabin is?
Yes.
Before the cabin.
Okay.
You take a right there, and back there is Castle Loma Apartments.
Okay.
Shit, it might be something else now.
No.
That was 99.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it a party school back then too?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They always called it. What they probably still do.
They still do, but it's definitely not.
Brother.
Oh yeah. It's definitely not the party school it used to be when I was like a freshman, like just coming in. They didn't break up anything back then. It was wild.
Yeah.
It was so wild.
Yeah, I got an MIP here before.
Yeah.
I got a drunk driving here too. Oh, that was bad.
I've gotten lucky, obviously, but
be careful, man. Yeah. I remember I was driving to the Theta Chi house. I don't think they have fraternities anymore.
Oh, they do. They're just not nearly as it's not nearly as big of a deal.
Driving to the Theta Chi house, I had my guitar in the back because there was, I think, some Delta Zetas or something, and I knew some of the guys, and I'm driving my car, and I was bombed. I was super bombed, and my guitar in the back, and I was on campus, and I should have known it was like 12:30 on a Saturday night, and I was driving just about ready to hit Main Street, you know, where all the fraternities and stuff used to be down there. I was getting ready to turn right there, and a cop shoots right out of one of the, I think it was a girls' dormitory right there. I can't remember which one it was.
Is.
Boom, he pulls out, and I was so bombed that when he pulled me over, I was like, okay, I'll be fine, you know, no big deal. But I had whiskey all over my breath. And when he came up to me, this was a very clever thing he did. The cop goes, you know why I pulled you over? And I said, no. And he goes, you didn't have your headlights on. Well, I'm staring that my headlights are on. He wanted to see what my response would be.
Yeah.
So he fooled me. He said, you didn't have your headlights on. And instead of saying, yeah, they are, they're on.
Right now. Yeah.
I go, oh, they weren't?
Yeah.
He knows I'm drunk right now because they're on.
Yeah.
He just caught me off guard with that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, I just fucked up. And then he pulls me out of the car, and it was right next to the, I want to say it was the Delta Chi house or something like that right there. It was by it, too. And they were all in the front yard laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're screaming stuff. I think they told their buds. So I, like, had a whole crew of people.
Just watching?
Watching me being arrested. Oh, yeah. It was awful.
Oh my God.
Where's your favorite joint?
Here, we usually just go to the Bird first, and then we'll go to Kelly's.
Wow, yeah.
But the Bird is nice.
The Bird is the word. Blackstone. Is it Blackie-Stone or Blackstone?
Blackstone. That used to be the place to go, and then it closed.
It closed.
Yeah, it's closed now. It's been closed right, I think, probably 2 months into COVID it closed. Like,
that
for
was
real,
when you turned 21, the adults beer drinking bar now. You're not going to Shabooms or Boomers or any of that stuff. The club scene.
Yep.
It's where you go. I remember we used to jam in there in the back.
Yep.
Play good music. And Rubbles is right there. Is that closed?
Yeah. No, Rubbles is still there.
Oh, okay.
Rubbles is still there. Because that was like more of a music scene too.
That's the only music scene there is.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
Because we went there. I actually went there with Dodman.
No shit.
Yep. I'm pretty sure it was Mel's like graduation. Like, she had like her master's or something again. Because I'm pretty sure she has a couple. But yeah, we all went there. It was like a bunch of us. Who I'm pretty sure Zach Reed, Spencer, all those guys were with us. And yeah, it was a fun night.
That's a good night.
It was a good time.
You get the Beaverton boys together.
Yep.
And Dodman's always fun.
Dodman was a freaking hoot.
Dude, that guy, he's something else, man. He used to study all night, all the time. And he would come over to Brownies and I's, and if he had class near, like, so we could just, like, go from that, because he would study until, like, he would just fall asleep. And then he would just wake up and go to class real fast. And he used to crash on our couch all the time.
And then just go. Yeah.
And just, whatever. I mean, he was hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does he do for, like, I don't know exactly.
Speech pathologist.
That's what I thought.
For, he used to work in Midland Hospital and Gladwin Hospital. And I don't know if he's got his own practice now, but he does well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been to his little bar right downstairs.
I have not yet.
Downstairs.
I can't wait.
Oh,
I want to take my gear over there and have tiki jams.
Oh, you have plenty of space.
Yes.
You have plenty of space.
Because the last time I was at his place, he was just starting to build it.
Oh, yeah.
So I have not. And when was that? 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't seen. So it's
probably, no, it's nice. You would literally like. It's honestly perfect for like a little stage because there's like like you go up the stairs to the house, and right there's like a big old stone wall, and then underneath that is like the deck, so you could post up right there, and you'd be facing everything.
Oh man!
Because like then you got the bar, and his little, it's just got like the L going around, and then it's he's got all his liquor and stuff in the back of it. Oh, it's
and he used to be a bartender, so he knows his drinks and he knows how to mix. I mean, he's
good.
He is good.
He was back there the whole night when I was there.
Oh yeah, and he loves it.
Oh yeah,
that's what he wants to host. He's made to
host.
Oh, that's right. He worked at the casino for years as a bartender too.
Yeah. He seems like someone like that bartender that you're like, I'm just gonna go there just to be with him.
Just slick Rick. He's gonna make you feel like you're the only person on planet Earth.
Oh yeah.
He's just. But like, so going back to Beaverton, how's that river is just
oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's gone.
But can you? I heard somebody told me that you can't even put a kayak in it because
it's pretty shallow.
It's that shallow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's now more so like right than when it happened. When I got COVID. Say, I think it would have been in the fall because it was during football season, and the next day I actually went and sat in the river because I wanted to do like I kept watching these videos on like cold water therapy and stuff, and I was like, screw it, there's a stream right there, I feel great, I have 2 weeks off now, I can't do anything, let's just do something weird. So I went down there and I sat in the river for like 3 minutes. And I shit you not, I was sitting on my like knees as close as I could, and the water still only came up to like right here.
What?
So like
in the middle?
In the middle, yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
And I'm like, there's no divot or anything. It's not like normal river. It's straight across. It's whatever little stream got through there.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And then everything else is grown out, so it's pretty much like a little forest down there.
It does. Every time I drive over the 10 bridge in Sanford.
Yep.
When you look out, it looks like if you were to take a picture and stop on the bridge and take a picture, you would think that, like, minus the mountains, it looks like a stream that goes through something in Colorado or something, right?
Yeah, it's a little forest. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, actually, right by Dodman's, Lang's.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He's like rerouting it to where the river comes towards him. What little there is, he's like digging to like come to his house. It's crazy.
Which Lang lives there?
The grandpa.
Oh, does he?
The grandpa.
I noticed that he did the zit, zit just to pull the boat down.
Yep.
Right? But yeah, he's got a nice little
Yeah.
That's right by Dodman.
That's literally
Right-
like
right across
the
that-
stream that goes kind of in between
Yes,
them is the separator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's fun. And
Yeah.
McCormick doesn't live far. He's across the river.
Yep.
Booze Road spot.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep. That's right where Zach Reed and Spenny and all that.
Oh, yeah,
right?
your old man's right there. But he's
yeah.
not on the river.
We're right there. We like, if you stand on our porch, directly across is Dodman.
Oh, wow.
Like if we both stood there and had binoculars, you could see him.
Oh,
clear as
that's
day.
right. We were bombed that night. I was there, and it was. I didn't see your. The garage is attached to the other side, right?
It's on. You wouldn't be able to see it from the water.
Yeah, that's why. Okay.
Yep.
Well, cool, man.
Yeah. Have you seen the garage yet? You've seen the garage before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bar?
Yeah.
Oh, your fucking bar's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a killer bar.
It was.
Thank God I don't have something like that at my house. I'd never
leave.
effing leave.
Yeah.
I'd have my buddies come over. I'd have drums set up. It would be like,
Ready to go. Ready to go.
you tell your own man, I'd come over and jam for free in there as long as I got free beer.
Oh yeah. There's a keg. There's a keg.
And there's Juicy Bones right there.
Yep. Right. Like. Yep. I was there the other day. We were playing volleyball. Yep.
Those courts are killer, man.
Yeah. It's amazing.
They rock it out there.
Yeah.
Who the freak owns that?
I know exactly what he looks like, but I couldn't tell you his name.
Not a Beaverton guy. Out of town.
He must. Yeah, I think he's. I mean, he lives in Beaverton now for sure. I think he lives right down the road. But I don't know if he's originally a Beaverton guy. But I remember back when Yankees was like. That's back when I would go watch.
Man.
I would watch my dad, my mom, and all them play volleyball in the leagues there, and that's when it was like, holy crap! Like, these people like try hard. Like, they're good. Like when I was a kid, like that's what I thought. It was wild. Yeah. It was fun seeing all that.
That's a great little court, man.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
They got the lights and everything. Like it's.
And they got the outside bars. I mean,
they've redone it. Actually, I don't know when's the last time you were there, but like if you come. You know how you go in normally. If you come out to like see the courts, that little patio,
yeah,
that's all enclosed now. And then there's like grass, like turf, like like just golf grass, like all everywhere. And then if you take a left to go towards like Dale Road, there's like a whole pavilion. Like shit you not, it's probably a 20 by 30, 30 by 30 pavilion right there. There's a whole bar, and that's where they've been doing music out there too.
Holy moly!
It's a whole thing now.
Wow,
it's wild. It's a lot different.
I gotta get out there. It'd be fun to get the Beaverton boys together.
Oh, and go, yeah.
Tell your boy Dodman, let's have a party.
Let's do it.
Start at Juicy Bones, play some volleyball, and at his place, and we'll have tiki jams. Oh, yeah. Hey, man.
That would be fun.
You and I'll be You'll be in. I'll be in Nashville, and you'll be in freaking Oregon or something by then.
Hopefully.
That's. So when are you gonna start your trip?
Really.
You gotta graduate first, right?
Well, that's just this summer.
Oh,
so
okay.
once I'll be done with that this summer. Really, the whole traveling thing is gonna start right when I graduate. I'm gonna start going to like the UP and like start doing that, and just making like weekend trips. Ian's the big determining factor on when we go on the big trip.
Yeah.
So once he's like comes home, because I'm pretty sure he actually works right now in Idaho. He's like a heavy machinery like driver.
Yeah.
So he just does that, just bankrolling until he has to move back home. So once he gets back, that's when we plan on it.
It's funny you said Idaho just now, because I just wrote this song literally 2 nights ago, and I use Idaho in the song.
Yeah.
Now, I've never even been to Idaho. That's the fun thing about writing a song.
It doesn't matter.
Nah, man. That's what putting on a hat and being creative is about. And so, I wrote a song and I say Idaho in the song. So when you just said that, I was like, my song.
So another thing about Idaho, that's super, and this is like a great segue. But one time, me and my buddy at Dunham's were talking, and we're like, well, we want to make like a TV show, just trying to be creative. We were bored. And I was like, this is back when like sci-fi things were all like on the rage. And I was like, okay, we got to think of something sci-fi. First science thing that pops into your head. Ready, go. And he says photosynthesis. And I was like, that's weird, because like it's the SpongeBob thing.
Oh, right.
So then he goes, and he's like, I don't know what we do with that, but we like, that's the first thing that pops in my head. And I was like, what if plants could talk? And I just weird things kept going, and I was like, Idaho Potato Farm. And we'd have like all these different scenes where plants talk and they're talking to them and shit. It wasn't really well thought out. But the only reason that I remember that is because we had this joke. Apparently, there's a girl there. She's a botanist, so we're just asking her questions about plants. And potatoes are grown underground. Okay, so there was going to be a part where like we're always talking this potato, but it was always like mumbling because like it's underground.
It's underground.
So like everyone thought like, oh hey, Mr. Potato, like talk to us, and he just. Muh. So then at the end, everyone gets harvested, everyone dies. That was going to be another gimmick to it, but the potato gets harvested, goes up into the thing, and he says in like this super fancy voice, and he's like, "My name's Mr. Potato." And that was just the end of it. That was the joke. That's what my buddy thought of that. And I shit you not, I laughed for a solid hour.
You need to make that a TV show.
Oh.
I mean, or a song. I want to hear that.
Yeah. So speaking, like, me and my buddy kept like talking about
That's
this
funny,
at the next Dunhams I started working at. I told him about it. He's like, well, we could make a TV show. And I was like, well, how do we really do it? And we thought about it. And I was high a little bit at the time because we went to the bar and we were talking about it. And we were talking about how like I kind of want to write a book, and I'd call it Photosynthesis, and it would be about this botany student. He like smokes this weed that somehow gets fucked with, and he eventually, like, once he smokes it, he gets so high he can talk to plants. But the whole like idea of the book was going to be all about like self-talk and like the psychology on how you like talk to yourself, and like obviously negative, positive, neutral, whatever, and all these different characters, plants that he's like just around, would be different aspects of how he talks to himself. And it's just like then what was I gonna?
The Nutty Professor reminds me, like, where you just talk to animals, but you're talking to plants.
Talking to plants. Yeah, so then it was going to be just a college kid, smoking weed with his friends, and then he just talks to plants randomly. And, like, he would have girl problems. He would, like, go on a walk with a girl out in the woods, and all these trees would be, like, old men telling him what to do, and he's like, well, that probably is not going to work in this situation. That's not like this age, blah, blah, blah. But it's just the fact that he has all this shit going on in his head, and then there's a girl next to him that he's trying to impress, and it's not going well, obviously, shit like that.
That's freaking hilarious, dude. I wish plants could talk to me and tell me how I'm fucking up and reshape my brain.
Yeah, it's
funny, dude.
Just a wild scenario, and I would like to like work on that on the trip and just see what I can do. If I can write a book, it would be weird to be a published author.
Just write every day. Every thought that comes through your head. And then what you do is you send me some of it so I can make some songs out of that crazy shit that's going to come out.
Exactly. I can do that. I can do that. Yeah. No, we've talked about it so many times, me and my buddy, and there was one, and he thought of it. It was funnier than hell. But he was going to have like a little epiphany moment, obviously, climax in the book. And all this shit, negative shit, was going to be going on, and he was going to run out of a house, and he was going to see a dude mowing his lawn, okay? And the guy mowing his lawn, he doesn't hear the mower. All he hears is the grass screaming because they're getting cut.
Oh, my God.
How just crazy would that be?
So it's just the plants. So it's just the
grass.
Plants.
It's just the grass.
It's not the worms. It's not the bees.
Just the plants. Yep. Just the plants. Holy fuck. And then he was going to be like a retail. We were going to base it a lot off our own lives and stuff. So he's going to be a retail worker. And we thought that, like,
this is even a kid's book, dude.
It could
a serious kid's book where what are the plants saying?
It's kind of sick. The little new. I mean, we're getting a little bit higher up for the kids, but no, sure. Definitely you could drop it down.
If you dropped it down, you could.
Easily.
And I don't know if I've ever heard that. That would be good because it's training kids like what the plants
think. Yeah, it's more of a different perspective, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be a little heady. Kids would be all freaked out. Going, the grass can talk.
Could you imagine coming home and your kid's like, talking to the grass today?
Yeah, no, it's probably a bad, okay, maybe not a kid's book. It's a pothead book.
Yeah, no, that's really what it is. And, it's just all the ideas that could come of it. It's just, you just put, like, yourself in a scenario and then just think, if we set a plant over there and have it talk to him, and just literally all it is just the voice in his head. So then at the end, the whole wrapping it up, it was going to be a project. That because he was a botany student. So the project was to, do something with weed because he just loved weed. So that was like his strain that allowed him to talk to plants was his project. So he figures out that early, like that he can do this, and then he just smokes it throughout the whole, semester.
Now wait a minute, the plant is weed. So when you smoke the weed, is it saying, motherfucker?
Oh, yeah. So now the weed can talk to him too.
Weed can talk too, man.
Exactly. So now as he's smoking it, I see. That's written down.
Twist, man.
That's written down.
Another twist to it right there, man.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Oh, the weed's talking.
The weed's talking, exactly. And no, but the weed. So like, then his teacher, he has it tested. He goes and gets his teacher to like do all these tests on it, and then the teacher comes back. He's like, "Well, you failed your project." And the guy's like, "Well, why? Because I can talk to plants." And he's like, "No, you're just smoking weed." So now he realizes, he's starting to realize that, like, is he talking to plants or is he talking to himself? And now all these thoughts are coming back in his head, like the shit he's been doing for this whole semester, the like conversation he's been having with all these different characters is literally him talking to himself.
Him just being stoned.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's just been in his house and he's never left.
No, I know,
yeah.
But exactly.
But like,
it's in his own head.
In his own head.
Yeah. So then there's that little coming about, like, blah blah blah, like he's trying to figure it out, and then the ending was gonna be one day he wakes up and like he just smokes weed and none of the plants talk to him anymore. It's just
Or he just
him and himself.
fucking runs amok and he throws all his plants away.
It never smokes again.
It never smokes again.
Maybe has a psychotic break. Have seen that before. It's crazy, but like, you never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
That's a great book, man. You got my mind thinking now.
It's definitely
you make me want to go
weird.
over there and hit that smoke right there.
Do it if you want.
No, I can't. I gotta drive. I gotta go be on. I gotta go do a gig, and I gotta go see my folks. And
there you go.
I want to go to B-Town after this. So yeah.
B-Town.
Beaverton.
Oh yeah. I didn't know if. Yeah, I was about to say the BT is freaking closed.
I know.
They'll be open hopefully towards the end of the summer.
Somebody buy it? Who bought it? Do you know?
Robin, accountant.
Okay.
Right down the road, Robin and Associates.
Are they gonna do anything different, or just get a new?
I think it's still the BT, obviously, but I think they're updating it. Obviously, I don't know what they're. I think the other side is gonna be way more, like a scene, more music stuff like that.
Oh, cool! That'd be cool.
I think they're trying to get that a little bit bigger.
Are they gonna keep the Mexican?
I think for the most part, everything is going to be theme-wise. From what I've told, is the same. Yeah. They don't want to really mess with that.
Yeah, it's been the Beaverton staple for so long.
Yeah.
And when did the Mexican? I mean, it's weird, but people from when I moved to Detroit, and I was living there, and I didn't think anything of it. We're Beaverton, so it's like, oh, the BT. But they're like, oh yeah, we went up to Houghton Lake, we passed through. We have to always go to the BT for Mexican food. Yeah. Like, is Mexican food really that good?
Yeah.
Or is it
it's the burrito and it's the atmosphere.
It's the atmosphere.
I think it's the. I tell you what, you always hear people talk about the burrito. I went and this is a long time ago, but back when I worked out, right before my senior year, where I trained. The guys there, they're like, oh yeah, like they live in Midland, and they're like, yeah, we go to anytime we drive up north, we always have to go have the big burrito.
Holy shit!
And and then the one guy, he was like, one of the trainers, he's like, how big could it really be? Like the other guy was telling me, he's like, you're not gonna be able to eat it, dude.
I've never had it.
Oh, I've seen it. I've never had it either.
So it's the claim to fame.
Oh no, it's like a baby. It's a legit baby. Huh. And it's huge.
You haven't been able to finish it.
Oh no, barely anyone ever has. Oh yeah, and this guy.
It needs to be on. What's that? Man versus Food.
Man versus. That would be fun. Guy Fieri comes out of nowhere. Yeah. I don't know if that's who is on that, but
no, it was Adam something. Yeah, it was different. I don't even know if that show exists anymore, but
I definitely do remember it though. Yeah. Guy versus, and then they'd always have like those big pizza challenges and shit like that.
That's fun to watch, man. I dig that. I dig the food channel, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch that shit whenever I possibly can.
So, also, I saw on your like Instagram and stuff, but you went out to Zion recently?
So I got hooked up with these gigs where I play these farm shows, right?
Yeah.
And really cool farm shows. It's like the mecca of anything new in the farm industry, from trucks, from Ram trucks to Ford, to they have their new line of trucks, but they're also the new tractors, from John Deere's to Case to whatever.
Yep.
The biggest of the biggest. They have like 6 shows throughout a year, right, in different areas, from Nebraska to whatever. And I play at the Ram booth at the farm shows throughout the country here and there, right? And as I play them, the same company also does the National Finals Rodeo in Vegas every year. So I get to go out there and play.
Yep.
And so I play at the Ram booth at the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, which is freaking killer. But the last time I was there, which would have been the end of 2019, so it would have been it's a December every year. I'm there for 10 straight days. Well, this is my 4th year doing it, so I got a little bored one day, and I said, "Well, fuck it, let's try something new." And Zion is only 3-hour drive.
Oh.
So on our day off, we said, "Screw it, let's go." And we made the 3-hour trip, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
I could not believe it was that beautiful, because it's that beautiful.
It really,
it's
yeah.
And we made a day trip out of it. Spent 5 hours. We didn't have an idea of what mountain and what park, and I mean it's all one park, but I mean there's just so many different
trails, specific spots.
We just picked and went with it.
Yep.
So I don't know if there was something where there could have been anything better, but yeah, it's hard to believe how great it was.
Yeah. It's weird. You see him in pictures, and it's just like, that looks cool, but like, you know, that's not nearly what it is when you're there.
I was tripping out, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And from Vegas, it was 50, and by the time we got up to the mountains, it was a full bed of snow, and it was cold. Yeah. And I was like, "Fuck!" I didn't bring my like warm shit. I got cowboy boots on too, because we were at the you're at the rodeo.
Yeah.
So I didn't bring any proper. So I'm slipping and sliding up these damn hills. I'm lucky I didn't fall and kill myself, but it was great. I would specifically vacation there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And just spend it more than a day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah. That would be wild.
The air was even different. Just the we came from Vegas.
That makes sense.
If you're in Vegas, by the way.
Yeah, we'll probably take a trip through.
You have to, without question, go visit the Valley of Fire.
The Valley of Fire.
That'll blow your mind too.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the big, tall, incredible mountains, but it's like you stepped on Mars. They've done a lot of like sci-fi movies there.
On there,
because it's red rock, but you can climb and you can just, and I'll show you pictures. It is Valley of Fire. It's about
sounds scary.
1 hour away, and as soon as you hit it, the world changes,
yep.
and it's a whole park, and you just bebop around through it, but you can get out at any other place and just go hike and go.
That'd be sweet.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, you'd love it.
Yeah, my buddy actually, he was driving past Vegas, and it was nighttime, and it was just like, this is where we're gonna be in the van here soon, and it was just, he went like this, and it seemed like it took forever, but just going across, and it was just all the lights. He was probably a mile away, and you could see everything. It was pretty cool.
I'm always fascinated with the desert. I love it
up
there. Yeah, New Mexico's great. Arizona. I mean, there's something super peaceful and quiet, and the horizon's different. The sky, it's really neat. You'll love it. And
Have you ever heard of dark zones, or I think it's called a dark zone, but they're specific places that they like test to see how well you can see the stars at night. So like obviously in the desert, my buddy said, he's like, if you think you've seen the stars like in Beaverton, no light pollution and stuff, wait till you get in the middle of the desert. He's like, you can see, it's not even a black sky anymore. It's just stars.
It literally, especially if you take a step off, it feels like you can reach up and grab the star.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like right over your head.
Yeah.
It's like as close as that tree. It's like you can go climb it.
Yeah.
But
it's not, obviously. But
it swarms you. It's like wraps around you like a panoramic picture that just kind of comes around you, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
That would be
you're gonna have fun, man.
Just the simple
I'm excited
things.
for you.
I can't wait. And I wanted, like, that's the main reason I'm doing the whole podcast thing, is because I would really like to, like, if I have kind of like a idea on how to do this, how to quickly, like, set this stuff up, and, you know, then I can figure out, like, all the logistics and stuff. Then I can be like, anyone I meet, just let's set this up real quick, and be like, just sit down.
Tell
with
me a
and
little bit of your story or something, right?
Something. Just because, like, you know, people like to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to hear that, and that's regardless. Like, I don't. Just recording is just fun.
It is fun, and when you're in like Colorado and you'll experience like a rancher or something. Mm-hmm. Sit down and find out a little bit about them, right? And
yeah. Maybe I want to. Maybe I secretly love ranching, and this guy just like changed my whole mind. Yeah. Stay there and work on a ranch for a little bit.
Dude, get this. So you're going to do what my buddy is doing right now. His name's Luke Nias from Michigan.
Yep.
He played guitar, great guitar player. He played on Whiskey Beach.
Okay.
You know the song Whiskey Don't Run Dry? The song?
Yep.
That's him playing the solo.
Gotcha.
But he used to play with Aaron, the guy from Stained.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. He played guitar with him for years. Great guitar player, and he just said, I'm done with Nashville for a while.
Yep.
And randomly, I think he wrote a song, so he's got some mailbox coming in, so he doesn't. Money's not an object to him right now because he's done well. He just went out to Venice Beach.
Oh yeah.
And he just takes his guitar out there, and I don't know if you've ever been to Venice, but it's just like you can literally go out there, plan a spot, and play guitar, and people will come and tip you. And you might be able to make a little bit of money just playing, or it's a freak show in Venice, right? Everything, painters to music to whatever. And so he lives out there, not too far, but he got hooked up with some Colorado ranchers in, I want to say, something Springs. Anyways, so you'll see him playing, and then all of a sudden he'll get into his Bronco, drive to Colorado, and ranch for a couple of weeks because he met these people, became friends with them. I think he's probably a helping hand, so they hire him.
Yeah, just like
But this is what he does right now. Yeah. So he's lived, we did the Nashville thing, played guitar with everybody, fantastic, played on my stuff.
Yeah.
Now resides in Venice.
And then
but
works occasionally
in Colorado, but still will come in and play session work in Nashville. But he set himself up by just experience. He wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
He could have easily sat in Nashville, did the same thing, done some session work, dealt with the music business horse shit.
Yep.
He said, no,
screw
I
it.
can still do this.
I'll come back,
But this dude's life, I get on his Facebook and I go, you son of a bitch, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I told you before, like I always have something I can come back to.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, and I would be perfectly content coming back here and doing whatever I need to do for a little bit, figure it out, and then be good. Might as well go see if there's anything out there.
Yeah.
And that would be, and I mean, I wouldn't consider myself to be a rancher, but like I would love to talk to a rancher. I would love to go out and ride a horse with him and see what happens.
I don't think he was a rancher.
Oh.
No, he just met people, probably on Venice or something.
Yep.
And he's figuring it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's got no fear. He doesn't worry about what everybody else worries about.
Yeah.
And he's a young man. I would guess he's probably, how old are you?
23.
Oh my God, yeah. No, he's probably 33. So he's 10. He's got 10 years at least. But yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah.
And it's an untraditional life. He's still single, but this is what he's. This is.
If you're happy, you're happy.
He's living it, bro.
Yep.
Every time I look on his Facebook, I go, Jesus, there he is ranching. There he is hanging out with all the. There's a lot of homeless and shit in Venice Beach too. Okay. So there he is with homeless cats playing guitar with them on a boardwalk.
Yep.
And then he's there, and then he's here, and then he's in Nashville on a stage playing in front of thousands of people at some really cool honky tonk in Nashville. And he's figured out how to make money, manage it, and it works for him.
Stick out of that business. He kind of got out of the business part. He just picks and chooses when he wants to have that different, mentality.
He gets a piece from all of it, and he is one happy dude, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not for everybody though. Not everybody can do that. You got to have the right mentality too.
Yeah. the mentality. I don't even know if it's mentality or just the breaking free of the initial part. Because I feel like once you break free,
it's all
and you figure it out, or you have a little bit of a taste, just like you said, like getting addicted to it.
You get addicted to it.
Once you get a little bit of taste, maybe you can keep it a lot more consistent.
Yeah. I mean, I think if I would have started earlier, maybe I would be able to be that free. I've been kind of free, but then I worry about my folks back home, and a lot of my friends are very traditionalists, like the people that we grew up with. That kind of pulls you in a direction of like, man, I need to grow up. At my age, though, your age, whatever. My age, I'm being pulled back a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, because I've done it, and
you've experienced it,
and it's, it's always exciting. So, for example, going out to Vegas, climbing Utah mountains, it's great, but every experience I've had has been great. At some point, it's just another experience, and there's nobody special that I'm sharing it with.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
At this point, I'm like, these experiences are great. I can throw it on Facebook, but I don't have
the meaning. It's
the
not
love. There's something I'm missing, and that's you don't have to worry about shit with that for at least 10 more years.
Yeah.
So you're golden.
Yep.
But yeah.
No, I get what you're saying. Once you start experiencing more and more, it just obviously that diminishing returns. Like
it becomes an experience. Okay. Look, for example, during COVID, right? I was in Nashville. I was hanging out with my bud, and we were playing a lot of music. Not out, but we were just writing and doing whatever. And we would go out on the boat a lot. What was there to do?
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to do. There's nothing open. And pretty soon it was like,
going on the boat.
I don't even want to go on a fucking boat. Like this is like it becomes. And even though we went to different places and we did this and did that, it was like you don't want to lose that spontaneity.
You want to keep it going.
You lose your passion for it.
Yeah.
But
I think it's more of a growing thing too. Like as you grow up, there's things that obviously you just kind of phase out because it gets like the diminishing returns. Like in your case with music, just imagine one day if you just didn't like music anymore. And then all of a sudden, you go to that next job, and it's just like it just leaves. It's a weird.
It's easy for that to happen when I don't know. That's happened to me over COVID. I didn't like music was. I didn't give a flying fuck about it.
Yeah.
I think also too, I wasn't being honest with myself musically. I don't listen to country music. I've never been a country music guy. I've been a rock guy. But when I moved to Nashville, I felt like, well, I know country because I lived in the country. I'm around people, the Jay Browns, they're all country folk. They listen to country. They love it. That's what they do. Never been me. When I was a kid, I still don't go on if I listen to music. I don't put on Jason Aldean or something. I put on Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King. I'm an old school guy that loves, because I believe those guys. They're from a place. The other guys are just trying to be famous, and they did. That's not me. And so I felt like because I'm a songwriter, I needed to go down that road. But that trip for me
just didn't match up.
It doesn't work. No. My heart was completely gone. Like I said, being in a studio with people that this is what they do. You're taking a kid that always wanted to be in Nashville and be a country singer. How can I listen to B.B. King and AC/DC growing up? How can I compete with this guy? It's really him. I'm just going through the motions because I want mailbox money and I want to write a hit because that's great money. Who doesn't want that? I remember one time being in a bar and my friend Quinn Loggins, not related to Kenny Loggins, he was like, Brandon, get in here. And I walked in and oh man, so I sat down with Quinn and we were drinking beers. He goes, see that guy right there? That's my best buddy. He's a bartender. And he goes, it's his last day. And I said, no shit. Cool. And he goes, you know why? He goes, he just wrote, who's the ballerini? Her last name's
Kelsey.
He goes, he just wrote her #1 hit. And I don't remember what song it was. He co-wrote it with a couple of guys. That's how Nashville works. You write it with like 3 or 4 different guys. And then you pitch in and he goes, it's his last day because this son of a bitch just made it. That song just is #1 on the charts right now. And here he is, this guy, and we're drinking beers together. And I still don't remember the guy's name because you won't ever know the guy's name. He's not the star. He's just the guy that
reason.
wrote that song. Mm-hmm. Fuck. How does that not tempt you, right? To do that.
Yep.
And for me, I've never been able to really do that, go write these songs with people, and then separate that of me as an artist. Mm-hmm. So here, it could be this simple. Go play ball, hang out with these, because you know these guys, they're great guys. Mm-hmm. Write these songs, and see if you can't get that mailbox money.
Yep.
And be you as an artist. Yep. But I keep trying to be that artist.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work for me. I got to just do what I do. And then separate
the writing and the
I can't. Yeah. I can't separate the two. It's fucked up. Because I wish I could.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah. I can't separate the two. It's either all honesty or all nothing. I don't want to do it. Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is like you just want to write songs that you feel super passionate about.
Yeah. Or I sing well. But that's not how.
It's not how. Yeah, because you gotta obviously take into account the person that's going to be singing it or who you're selling it to, obviously.
And then that's that gets into that
business part, and then you're just then you're out of it.
Well, for like Jamie Johnson, Outlaw Country, Jamie Johnson. He wrote Honky Tonk Badonka Donk and Tracy Atkins sang it. Yeah. But he wrote that shit, Yeah. It's just weird how that stuff works.
It might be like a timing thing, like you got into the singing before you got into the writing.
Oh, that's for sure.
So like at that point, like you fell in love with the singing, you didn't fall in love with the writing. So then once you got into the writing, you're like, well, I love singing this, so like I want to get good at writing my own shit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, now I gotta flip the whole script and write for other people.
Dude, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit of a loner.
Yeah.
I like writing by myself.
Fuck yeah.
I don't want to write with 5 different people and put on air. I like to just do what I do, and when it comes out,
it's there.
But I don't know. It's show business too, So I mean, look what Nashville's turned into. It's like everybody's happy and everybody's singing songs and oh my god.
What happened to like the blues and like The Devil Went Down to Georgia and all that shit? That's when I thought of Nashville. That's the only that's what I thought of. Like the old the not happy shit.
It's everything's so happy and everything's so modernized. It's there's no soul. Yeah.
Talking about like social media and stuff, like you never see the negative side. You never see the I don't know.
Oh, trust me, I want to go on Facebook and blast
people,
motherfuckers,
and
blast how stupid this shit is. But you can't, and that's why And then also, what happens too is like, for me, like I had my limelight, and I did this in L.A. and I did this, and then in Detroit I had some cool things going on, and then when I went to Nashville, I'm reinventing myself again, and now at this point it's like, I'm sick of talking about myself.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Like I want to talk about somebody else. And Brownie made a good point the other day. It was like, you need to start helping people and help them with their songwriting. Pull you out of it. And it's hard to do because you're always writing for yourself. But at the same time, he's right, because I've lost the... I get so sick of, hey, everybody got a new song, I'll check it out. I mean, that's why I put food shit on my Facebook now. I mean, I got to get to the point now where I fall in love with the marketing of myself again. And I've fallen out of love with that.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely, and it's so hard to do because you, like you said, you don't want to talk about yourself constantly.
I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah, like it's something that I need to do. Being like, if I want to do stuff like this, I need to talk about myself. I need to do that, but like, it just feels weird sitting there and like, hey, like, look at me. And it's just like, I've never been the person to like even at like social outings, like if you come up and talk to me, guaranteed I will talk to you. I will keep that conversation going. But like random people, I'm not gonna just be like, oh, like, what's up? Like, I don't know. I just don't like put myself out there in that sense.
Yeah.
I don't want to impose, but I definitely will. I'll stick around if you allow me to. Yeah, I don't know.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's the media thing and promoting yourself and self-promotion and all that stuff is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, when I see my friends doing it, I don't think, It's just
I
like great. They're promoting the look, great photo. Oh, you're wearing your cowboy hat today. Awesome. Hey, whatever.
Love it.
I love it. For me, I'm over it a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you talk about getting in your own head.
Yeah.
Now I think like somebody's going to be like older, like Brandon. Haven't you grown up yet? You're 47. What do you? But it fucks me up.
Oh yeah.
It fucks me up because I know 50% of my fan base is doing that.
Oh yeah.
The ones that have kids and families and stuff, they're like, what the fuck's Calhoun still doing?
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. And I can't get over it at this point in my life. And I can't say fuck it anymore.
Yeah.
I've done that for a long time. So now I'm a little bit trapped. And at some point, I'm going to really regret that because I can't put the genie back in the bottle, and I can't go back and change and have a wife and a kid and all the things that maybe I should have done that I beat myself up about. So why don't I say the ultimate fuck you to everything?
Yeah.
And I say it, I write about it in my songs, and I fucking can't do it.
Yep.
I can't fucking do it.
It's
It
weird.
pisses me off.
It's that habit of just
It's mine.
Something being in your head telling you can't do it. It's like you've told me I can't do it this whole time, and I'm just gonna believe you.
Yeah. I give up.
Yep.
Yeah, I give up. I can't
And the thing too, like when it comes to you like learning or teaching other people, you know how easy it would be, weirdly, how easy it would be to post on Instagram, hey, look at this kid today doing this riff or whatever that we worked on, blah blah. You don't even have to say we. You could just say he was working on the whole time. That post right there would be like you wouldn't even think about not posting that. You like, I want this kid to be seen.
And guess what? It's self-promotion for me.
Exactly. Oh yeah. It is, but it isn't obviously.
Yeah, but it is. Yeah. It's a different version of me.
Exactly.
And that's where it becomes okay.
Oh yeah. Where does that line? Yeah, exactly. Where that line is, where like if I talk about other people, I can do it all day.
Yep.
But if I talk about myself, it's just like, that's like
boring.
I gotta get back to you. Like
Yeah.
you gotta defer eventually.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's weird.
No, I'm a big fan of that, and you're right. And so I've been trying to figure out a way to do that.
Yeah.
And whether it's teaching guitar lessons, if it's not quite sure.
Yeah.
But
it could be any part of the process.
Yep. But I will say there's a piece with me. That's why I come back to Michigan a lot. There's a piece with me when I'm in Michigan versus being in Nashville, because when you're in Nashville, yes, it's great. The whole town is about music.
Yep.
But you also let it get into your skin like, well, what am I here?
Yeah.
It's so
Who am I?
saturated.
Yeah.
And there's so many great singers, and they're all great, and they're all going in different directions, and they're all special, and they're all, you talk to any one of them, oh, I got this manager, and I got this, and I got that, and it's like, it's so overloaded. It's like, well, what am I doing? When you come back here, you can kind of fit in your pocket, and you can start being a little bit more of an honest musician, to me, or right from the heart a little bit more.
And it's because you're home. Yeah.
Michigan feels home. Yeah.
You are where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like how you're saying all these people are special and like, who am I in this? And weirdly enough, there's another person thinking that same
100%.
thing about you.
100%. Yeah.
But you can't think about it that way about yourself.
Nope. Impossible. It's maddening.
Yeah.
Yep. It's maddening. I will always be 100% Brandon from Beaverton.
Yeah.
Like that. And that's modest folk, good people. My parents, my dad, I mean, they are the nicest. They don't want their picture taken. They're not special. They're just people living in Beaverton that are good people and honest and down to earth.
Yeah.
And that's who I'll always be.
Exactly.
Now, I don't portray that a lot of times on my Facebook, with my pictures of me and a selfie and stuff like that, and I'm here and there, and but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel just like my folks, and it'll never go away.
Yeah.
And why is that bad? Well, it is, because you're trying to be a self-promoter.
You're trying to be something else.
Something.
Yeah.
And that's
it just doesn't correlate to what you were raised, and it's not obviously, like you said, good or bad. It's just the way you were raised is different than the way you need to be to do that. To
succeed.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
It's weird.
But hey, we keep on trucking.
Oh yeah.
And what am I gonna do now? Gonna go pop out a kid at 47 years old and get married and go? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
So there's two ways to go. Fuck it one way or another.
Yeah, exactly. What's tomorrow bring, and that's deal with it.
It's funny you say tomorrow. That's the last part of that song, Call Me Crazy. It says, who knows if I'll even be here tomorrow. So I'm going to keep on trucking. Call me crazy. And that's literally what I'm at. I'm at that breaking point of, but can I?
Yeah.
Can I say fuck it?
Yeah.
Do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, I don't know if I can. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I just need to get stoned like a motherfucker every day. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so here's another thing. And I read a book on this recently, but have you ever done shrooms?
Oh yeah.
That stuff, I tell you what, have you ever heard of ego death?
No.
Okay, so here's like a little science thing, but like when you take mushrooms, there's like obviously a chemical or something messes with this, like the prefrontal cortex or something. I'm not like it's obviously a scientist or anything, but it makes it harder for you to think of yourself. So like I don't know if you ever heard the superstition, or I don't know, it's pretty real when I took them, but like you don't want to look at yourself in the mirror when you're on shrooms because it just looks different. It looks weird. It's because the part of your brain can't recognize self. And that's like your consciousness.
Interesting. All right.
So like your consciousness, obviously, like everyone, I would have to reread that book that I read recently just to get like, because it's a mind fuck.
Pretty heady.
Yeah, but the idea of self is literally like we're the only thing on this planet that can think of that way. No one else, plants, whatever, like think of themselves in a sense. So it's just weird. And then when it comes to mushrooms, like when you take them, like there's obviously that inhibition, like there's a point where like you don't even think you are who you are anymore if you take enough. And it's just a weird concept because like when you have ego death, there's nothing in your brain, there's not that self, the plant talking to you that's saying like, oh, this and this is why you shouldn't do that, or this and this is like this person will think of this like all these other things, they literally aren't there anymore. So now you're just in your head thinking, I want to go do this, or like I want to go jump on the trampoline, and then you get up and you just go on the trampoline. Like in that sense, like
that needs to,
there's no like, but do I sit on my phone and like scroll through Instagram, or like do I cook food? Like I don't know. It's just weird how you don't think about it at all.
I will say this, to me, mushrooms was, I've done it many times, and I like it better than weed. I like it better because I never really got super, well, I take that back. I'll tell you a good little story about my weed, or my mushroom intake. I did mushrooms in one time, several times, and it made me feel body buzz. It wasn't like when you smoke weed, boom, you're fucking high.
Yeah.
Mushrooms,
it takes a minute.
It takes a minute, but you're also like, in the moment, you're not stoned. You're not like,
no.
At all.
No.
And then you can kind of gradually eat more and more. But to me, I've always been just in a really good place. Except for one time. Oh my God. So my buddy in Nashville has this annual 4th of July bash. The Pahanish Bash, and it's out in the country, and I'm having a couple, a little bit of vodka, and we're drinking, and we were supposed to go on later. Me, Lee, we're gonna jam. So it's a jam. So everybody goes up, and their band plays, this band, and we were set to play. And my buddy gave me a mushroom, real long fucker, and didn't think anything. I've done it a million times, but for whatever reason, this shit did something else to me.
Yeah.
And it sounds weird, but I could not stand straight. And I don't mean I was stumbling. I was, back.
Oh.
My back, I could not stand straight up. So I kept grabbing to hold, like I'm sitting there watching it, and as soon as I would let go of something, I would, like my back would bend over, and I wasn't teetering side to side.
Nothing.
Straight back, like on a 45-degree angle. Like my back was just like that. And people were like, what in the fuck? This dude is fucking whacked out of his brain. And I'm like, but I wasn't. I kind of was consciously like, what the fuck is happening? I can't stand up.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So that was my only trip, and I don't know what was going on with that, but
that was
why that happened. Because it only happened to me the one time.
You wouldn't fall though if you weren't holding on something.
I would step back, and then as I would gain, I mean, literally, as I would, like, if I step back, but I was literally walking around like this. And then I would stand up and I would hold on to something, and then as soon as I'd let go, I would like my boom.
Yeah.
What? Could not the whole night
figure it out.
Stand up. No.
Oh.
So
see,
that's
I get
tripping.
I get what you're saying by the body height too, because like whenever I walked, I shit you not, it was like my knees were like springs, like they wouldn't activate until I fell a little bit, and then I'd figure it out and fell. You just walk and it looks like you're just like, I don't even know what that the old school just like swag walk. I just kept falling all this whole time. It was so weird.
That's fun. It's fun. I don't know, man. I've always had a little bit of a different experience every time I've done.
Oh yeah.
So
I
it's
think
always
that's
a little bit different, right?
That's
it's not
consistent.
like weed. You can kind of trust it to
do
get you
this.
high, and
Yep.
you're like here. It's like
There's also the hallucinogen part, because the first time I
it
ever
only
did
happens when you eat a shit ton, though.
I shit you not, I don't know what it was, but I took a very, very little amount, because I was going to the bar with a couple buddies. So I took it right when I got there, and then we got home, and it didn't hit me when I was there. I thought we were going to be there long enough. I got home, I sat down, I was watching TV. TV, perfectly fine. Perfectly normal. Everything around the TV, gold kaleidoscope. No idea what was going on. I'm sitting here, I'm like trying to focus on the TV so I don't lose this. But like I'm secretly just watching this going on, and I'm sitting here, and both of my buddies are downstairs. I'm like, and I'm stupid. I'm like, guys, come up here and like just sit here with me for a second, because this shit is wild. And I'm sitting here telling them about it, and they're looking at me. They're like, we know what you're talking about, but obviously we can't see it. And I'm like, yeah, but dude, you just gotta enjoy this. And I'm like, this is wild. But
that's fun.
I mean, it's always a different trip. It's always, and it always, and like the other time, it was just we were sitting there watching TV, and just going through watching TV, and my buddy was sitting there watching it upside down the whole time, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? And he's locked in. It's not like he's not just like laying down. He is locked into this TV upside down. I was like, he's like, dude, this is so weird. And I'm like, well, yeah, you've never watched TV upside down before, bro. Like, it makes perfect sense why it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always something.
It is. The only time I've ever really flipped out, obviously other than the 45-degree angle walking around at a party. And also I tried to get up and play music too, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It was awful, and I had to pull the guitar out of my. I mean, that kind of shit. That's fucking bad. At night one time texting.
Yep.
The letters. No, they were bubble, so I'd pop them.
Oh.
And it was trippy. Like I'd hit it and boop, boop, like whoa, like they were wiggling.
Yep. Yeah.
Just wiggling like a video game type thing.
Oh yeah.
And then and not like pop, but I would hit them, and you could see that it was like pushing into bubble wrap.
Yeah. Oh
it was
yeah.
Bubble wrap.
Yep.
Each letter was bubble wrap.
And then you're probably at that point you're addicted to it.
Well, I'm staring at my phone.
And you just sitting there popping.
A chick was over. And, she was staring at me while I was doing it, and she just was not attracted to that. If you can fucking imagine. I think she left about a half an hour later.
That's tough.
Yeah.
But
oh shit.
Oh well.
My times, dude, been there, done that a billion times.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a funny. No, yeah. I'm not in that department as well. I don't know. I just don't put myself out there enough. But still, like, it's wild. Everyone is like, you're probably, and it's funny working at Dunham's. You get all these newbies that come in, like, because obviously just new workers and shit. And there was one girl. We knew she was going to be like a manager. We knew we were going to see her for a while, so I started making friends with her, whatever. And she was talking to all the other managers when I wasn't there one day, and they're like, yeah, like, Nate seems like a douchebag, like one of those just like, like womanizer, just probably gets all the girls he wants, doesn't have to worry about anything. And then one of my buddies, the one that I always talk about the show with, looked at her, and he's like, you couldn't be farther from the truth. This kid never talks to girls, doesn't do nothing, like, he's like the sweetheart, like he won't do anything, like he doesn't push anything, like he doesn't do anything. And she just couldn't believe it. And it was wild because, like, obviously when I was a kid, you saw me, like, I looked like that. I looked like the one that just, whatever.
Straight.
Like, he's just there, you know.
Straight.
Like, cool kid, fun to talk to, whatever. But like, you know, just there. And then now, obviously, like big. I got long hair. I got tattoos. These people just look at me. They're like, it's just weird because I do not ever see that as how other people see me. So then they say that, and I'm like, what are you? I'm confused. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, and then they're like, oh, this, and this. I'm like, no idea what you're talking about, dude. Like, I don't do this. I don't do that.
It's
like,
crazy what people will see in you that you don't see in yourself.
Oh yeah,
it's nuts. I was in perfect example of that. It was when I was in Nashville. I thought I was just an average, ordinary dude. I had a little bit of a beard and longer hair, and I met this group of people, and they would literally go, "Wait till Brandon gets up, because he's got this soul and he's cool." And I was cool with it, you know. And I was, but here's the thing: when I first got to Nashville, I didn't let the machine fuck with me yet. Yeah. I was just there singing from my heart, right? Yeah. So I sang the rock songs. I sang this. It gradually was like, oh, I need to do what they're doing. Yep. See what I'm saying? I changed, not for the better, to fit in. But they called me Nashville Jesus. That was their nickname. Nashville Jesus is here. And I would get up and they would be like, Nashville Jesus. And so they would literally, you know, I'd go play all the writers' rounds, and everywhere I went, like, it was like the little nickname.
The names, yeah.
But I saw myself as not even half as good as they were.
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't
comprehend it.
I couldn't comprehend that I was doing well, and people dug it. And what would have happened if I would have stuck with it? Stayed on this train and don't fuck around. Keep doing what you're doing. But no, work with this person. You need to try this and try that. Yeah. Next thing you know, you're reshaping your whole form, and now you're somebody else that you don't even recognize, and your heart's not there anymore.
Yeah, and if you don't I don't know. It's weird how you flip the roles on recognition.
Yeah.
Like, they recognize you as something great. You don't.
Not at all.
And then, I recognize myself as being better now. They don't. And it just doesn't reciprocate.
Yeah, man. Getting into... You and I could talk for hours about that heady shit.
Yeah.
Because it is... when you start going down that alley of... not conforming, doing exactly what you're supposed to do, get your job, you graduate from high school, you go to college, you do when you deviate from the plan of the norm, you don't realize what you're setting yourself up for, which is a monster. Should I be doing this or shouldn't I be doing this? Yeah. And am I taking too big of a risk? Maybe I should go. It's easier. It's a good life. You know what that life is. Exactly. That life's a great life.
Yeah.
It's good. It's standard. Your neighbors, you go out and say hi to your buds. You got your parents right there. And it's, you can go live that, play volleyball on Thursday nights. You know it's there. But I'm not. I'm going to find myself and do this and experiences. But what you don't realize is you're going to deal with a lot of self-doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of, like, what the fuck am I doing? And you either deal with it or you don't.
You embrace it or you don't.
And so there is no... and it's not the easiest road. It's an exciting road.
Yeah.
And people are going to go, oh, Nate, man, you're at Mount Zion. This is great. And you're going to be, whoa, you can get some followers. Yeah. But at the end of the day... you're going to question it sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Especially late at night or when things don't go your way and you run out of gas in the camper or your shitter's full or whatever.
Yep.
And then you're going to go, all right, this was really cool, but
not now.
Let's time out this, get back home and figure
something
plan
out.
B out.
Yeah.
But you have to do it yourself.
You have to try plan A first.
And guess what? If it does work, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And if it didn't, then fuck yeah. You're still good.
You're still good. You're still young.
Good. Yeah.
I didn't move to California and start doing what you're doing until I was 31.
Damn.
I was 31 years old. I went to college and I did I went and worked in Detroit, but I wasn't like playing a ton. I was in an 80s cover band, so that's where I got you know, I was doing that on weekends here and there, but I wasn't taking anything professionally. No. I wasn't trying to be a songwriter. I was just being a singer. Mm-hmm. So there was no worries. I'm in California. I'm not trying to be some artist and book my own shows. It was like I went and played Hennessy's and sang cover songs.
Yeah.
Big difference when you're promoting your own music, and now you got to get people to come in. You got to sell tickets. You got to say, no, this is the Brandon Calhoun show. You're gonna hear my music. I'm not gonna be doing Brown Eyed Girl for you today. Nah, it's a whole different thing. Now it was just fun on a Friday night with me and my buddy James McKenna playing on the beach. Yeah. Now it's your songs. Who's gonna like it? What category do you fit in? Are you gonna go rock? Are you gonna sing some country? What are you gonna do? Yeah. I don't know. And Rockstar in Excess, get done. Now what? It's all I don't know.
Yeah.
Now you got to learn how to write some songs. You got to figure out your what are you as an artist? I didn't know that shit back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so, and I wanted to quit and just come back home, live a good life, play some, the cover thing. But I said, fuck it. And I went all the way in.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. Led me to Nashville, led me here, led all these cool different places and experiences. And I've taken pieces of them and put them in me. But at the same time, before that, I didn't have any idea.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I have no idea. And, no idea what I wanted to do in the sense of, exercise science. The only reason I got that degree is because I liked working out. And I wanted to know more about it. Literally, that was I went to a gym and how they trained me and how they worked every day. I was like, that's cool. I would like to do that.
So there you go.
And that was it. Yeah. But then you get into it, obviously. You get into okay, well, now you paid, $20,000 for this piece of paper, and now you're going to go work for, you didn't see how they got to that point, obviously.
Right.
You see all the great things. Everyone always sees the great things, but they don't see how they get to those points. Right. And it's just are you willing, is it all that work really worth getting to that point right there? Or because you're a kid. I thought of that when I was a senior in high school. I was like, man, that was kind of cool. And it rode with me for 4 years. And I was like, no doubt I still enjoy it. But is that really what I want to do for 40, 50 years? I don't know. It's just a weird, people always telling you, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't and I think you could say it. Do you still know what you want to be when you grow up in 5 years? No. Exactly.
No.
And it's just that's coming from two different age groups, and you got all these people talking about how they don't even know. I could change in 5 years.
Yeah.
And you could easily, in this day and age, if you want to switch careers, it's hard, but definitely doable.
Yeah. Well, I what you and I are kind of you're on the path, and what I've already experienced, very similar places. But I remember being in college, right? Jay Brown was my roommate.
Jay Brown as in Porter Brown's
Jason
dad.
Brown.
Oh, Jason. Okay,
yep.
okay.
Sorry.
Yep. No,
Jason Brown, Woody.
Yep.
And I remember thinking to myself, these fuckers are going out hunting every 5 fucking minutes. Fishing or hunting. Brownie had all this gear. He's into journalism, which obviously helped him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went into... Brownie kind of knew what he wanted, but he had no idea. He had to go videotape weddings. That was his thing. Videos, weddings, things of that nature.
Red Rave.
And Red Rave, all those things that he didn't get paid for.
Nothing.
All that stuff, right? He didn't know that he was going to end up meeting Chris and Casey Kiefer, but he was prepared
for it. Yeah.
He's smart, man. That fucking kid is smart, and he's also very... He's different than a guy like you and I.
Yeah.
We're not sure.
Yeah.
We're taking experience. He knew whatever he was going to do. He's going to be in journalism. He knew he loved home. I don't think he had some far-fetched style. I want to go live in California. I want to go to Oregon. I'm going to go. He knew that he was an outdoorsman. And I used to think in college, fucking Woody and him are going to skip class and go fucking hunting, and they're going to videotape each other's hunts.
Yeah.
And
It works.
They knew we were talking about him like that.
Yeah.
What the fucking guys? I'm Donovan Rush, and I remember Donovan saying, "What are you gonna do? Aren't you gonna take this serious? What are you gonna do with your camera and go videotape hunts for? Shouldn't you?" And Brownie, they had the conversation.
Yeah.
It pissed Brownie off, right? But years later, Brownie can go, "This is why I fucking had my camera on me, because I number one love it.
Yep.
And I'm." Not that I build a career. I own my own business, and I'm actually creating other people's career.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he knew. And didn't matter. That fucking squirrel just jumped from the tree up there. But I just love Brownie's success story. But he's also just a guy that's in his own skin that knows.
He knows what he's doing.
And guys like you and I we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, but I always get jealous of people like Brownie that he just knew, always.
And same thing for Woody, you know, always going out and hunting. Now he sells hunting property.
Now
like,
he's
perfect. How does that...
We used to think he was flakier than fuck. The fucker would skip class. He ended up quitting school. Now, not only is he working in the outdoor industry, selling a hunting property, he's a coach.
Oh, yeah.
Who would have thought Shad Woodruff, the fart head in college, I mean, he's not a fart head. You know what I mean.
Yep.
He didn't take things serious at all back then. Now he's disciplined as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Very serious about basketball. Very serious. I mean, who would have thought he would be coaching around Roy Johnson?
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking
And
mind?
because I internshiped. Yeah. I internshiped with them for my coaching minor.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to get this over with. I was like, hey, Woody, can I just come coach with your basketball team for the year? And I shit you not, he told me, I thought I've heard all the stories. Like, I thought I've heard a lot of stories from Roy and Woody over, like, you know, being a kid and all. There's about 500,000 more stories that I heard and that are yet to be heard from those two. It's unreal, them talking. Because I didn't know that Woody dropped out of school or something. Because he told me he talked to Roy, and Roy said, well, you're going to come back and coach with me, and we'll get you on the straight and narrow. And that's how he started coaching with Roy.
I didn't know that, yeah.
And I was like,
dude,
that's...
He co-owned the Jiffy Quick.
Yeah.
He hated it. He couldn't stand it, but that's what he was going to do. That was his path at that point. Boom, co-owner.
Yeah. I remember that. Because that was when I was, you know, younger. That's when I played for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was... And then after playing, like, coaching with him this year, it was just such a trip because, like, there was another coach, Coach Taylor. He was from Gladwin. He was, like, an assistant. And we got into, you know, press break and, you know, all the drills. Like, you do the same drills over and over again all year. And a kid doesn't run down the, you know, on the press break. You pass it up the sideline, and then the point guard gets it on the right side of the lane, the closest side. Well, the kid ran right down the middle of the lane. And me and Woody look at each other, and we just smile. Because we know Roy's walking down, because if you don't touch the right freaking spot on the court every time, you're going to get yelled at. And Taylor's just sitting there. He had no idea. And we're sitting there like, this is like, we know exactly what he's going to say right now. And it was so cool just to experience that. Be like, and me and Woody both knew that. We're like, okay, so just wait for Roy to say this. It's so funny. And then later, once I got a couple more practices in, I started just doing that stuff because I knew. And like, there was times where Roy was like talking to someone or something, so I would say it. And then Roy came up to me one day. He's like, you know, you're getting pretty good at this. You kind of beat me to this stuff. And I'm like, I've heard you say it plenty of times, Roy. I was like, I can beat you to it now. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. And I'm like, good.
So you help out with the teams, don't you?
I did that year. That basketball specifically, I went every practice. I was always there, every game, everything. But football, I haven't been around for like the past 2-3 years because I've just been living here and I just haven't been able to drive back and do all that. But that first year out of high school, the first 2 years out of high school, I was there at practice every day helping them, and that was obviously fun. It was a little bit different in the football setting, obviously, and the younger, because all the kids that, some of them played with me, like Luke Owens, like he was on my team and I coached him for another 2 years after that. So like, obviously him, I'm not going to be like, you know, I'm not going to coach the same as I would a freshman that doesn't know me. Of
course.
Because, like, obviously he knows me. I'll be like, Luke, just do this. And he's like, oh, okay, I know what you're saying. And, like, other kids, like, you got to kind of be, like, you know, the coach sense. And now being older, and I think another thing, just growing up and getting bigger and looking different, it's a complete different scenario with kids now. Like, or, well, at least high schoolers. Like, they look at you and it's like, okay, if he gets mad, it's kind of like you kind of got to do something.
Bit more,
it's a little bit more serious, because back when you get mad at before, like when we were kids, they would just like talk back. And it's just like, I get it. Like I would talk back too sometimes, but like you understand at that point, like age-wise, I'm just trying to help you. And like you think more so when you're a kid that they would believe that, because like when we played together, me and Luke and all those other guys, they're like, oh yeah, you know what you're doing. Like you always, like I would always tell them what to do in the game, and it didn't question it because you're in the game, so no one ever wants to talk back. But the instant you get a practice, they're sitting there, they're like, you don't know this, you don't know that. I'm like, bro, you don't question anything any other time. It's
and
just
you're
weird.
not that much older than them.
Exactly. So then it gives them that right to say stuff like that. But it definitely, as the coaching goes on and working with Woody and Roy, obviously, coaching is just so much simpler than you ever thought it really was. It's mainly like you can be the best coach X's and O's you could ever ask for. And like Woody's told me this about like me and Spencer too, like when it comes to like how to beat people, you guys can figure it out. But what Woody's really good at is getting the kids to figure out how to beat them. And he's like, the fundamentals is just, it's so weird when it comes to basketball and it comes to life too, but like you get good at the fundamentals, you get good at the simple shit every day that you do, and you're gonna get good at it.